Battlemode. Love it or hate it, we're kind of stuck with it. Id Software seems very keen on making this highly competitive skill versus strategy, teamwork, and communication game mode work. And it does, for the most part. Now, I feel like I should preface this with I am a fan of this game mode. I do thoroughly enjoy it, and the fact that Id Software is paying so close attention to this game mode. If you guys didn't know, every week, if not every other week, they're putting out hot fixes to bring the PC and console experiences more in line with each other. And that's very admirable. Regardless of how objectively popular this game mode is or not, that shows how dedicated Id Software is to Battlemode, and I respect that. But like I always say, just because you like something or enjoy it doesn't mean you should be blind or ignorant to that specific thing's faults or shortcomings, both from a technical and gameplay perspective. On the contrary, I would say that if you're a fan of something, you should be more willing to share those things that you hate or need to change, because you, after all, are the one supporting this game mode or supporting whatever it is in question. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing here today. What's going on, everyone? My name is Cynic, and today we're going to be taking a look at the biggest mistakes Id Software made with Doom Eternal's Battlemode. Now, I do want to say that this is in no particular order, but for simplicity's sake, we're going to start off on a comment left by her Sensil, which, for one, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. For two, you're named after a brain cell. And the reason I had to look that up is because I couldn't pronounce the fucking name. That's neither here or there. You did make me feel stupid for a second, especially since for whatever reason I thought that was a name from Skyrim, which I've never played that game in my life, and I have no clue why that would even come to mind. But anyways, Sensil claims that they feel like the biggest mistake with Battlemode is the matchmaking. The game often tries to find you a match ASAP, which results in very poor connections and really imbalanced lobbies. They also wish you could start a private match with 2 people or with a bot that isn't active. Now, first off, I completely agree with their matchmaking. There's no such thing as dedicated servers in Doom Eternal's Battlemode, which, why would they decide to rely on a peer-to-peer connection in a game mode that's meant to be very competitive? I still have no damn clue. I feel like this was kind of them shooting themselves in the foot. If you want to take game mode very seriously, you should be having dedicated servers, especially something like this. You know, we're not talking about Call of Duty where you're dealing with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people hopping online. You're talking about matches that are 3 people maximum. I don't want to get too deep into server overload or anything like that because I don't know jack shit about that stuff, but you'd think connection would be very important in a game mode where it's all about timing, you know, being fluid, being on the move, making sure every one of your decisions are precise, and it just doesn't make any sense. I also really like how you brought up the idea of private matches, which you can actually do, but you can't start up any private matches without those other 2 slots being filled in. I think it'd be a nice extension of the tutorial system that's already implemented in the game to be able to hop into a match, and for people that are struggling to play as a Slayer, people that are struggling to play as a certain demon type, experimenting in private modes, so that way you can really hone in your skills or your decision making in certain situations with the certain demons or with the Slayer. So right there we got rid of 2 points: the lack of dedicated servers and the lack of the opportunity to properly practice. Now I'm gonna add to this the lack of content or the lack of updates. Now earlier I mentioned that Id Software is constantly pushing out hotfixes, but allow me to explain the difference of what I mean here before it looks like I'm a complete idiot that doesn't know what I'm talking about. What I mean here, what the difference is what Id Software is pushing out is tweaks and adjustments to things that are already in the game, nerfing or buffing the demons or the Slayer. They're not adding in more content, they're not adding in more weapons, more demon types, more ways to play the game modes. They're just tweaking what's already here, and I will give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not really expecting anything right now. I'm not asking for something new every single week either, because further down the line we are going to be getting new demon types brought into battle mode, but in the meantime what I'm asking for is at least a little bit more variety, a little bit more liberty to play what we already have. As an example, what I mean, a nice stepping stone would be, just to help you visualize, is when you go to play as a Marauder, you have 2 preset classes. You have ranged and you have pressure. When you pick one of these classes, their abilities are already set. You can't swap out demons from one class to the other or the abilities. You just kind of got to stick with what you're given. I would like to be able to swap out demons at the very least between these 2 presets, or even from one demon type to the other. You know, maybe I want to spawn in a Cacodemon or an Arachnotron and the Marauder can't spawn those in. Well, it can on an Arachnotron, but a Cacodemon at least, or even a Prowler would be appreciated. And that's all I'm asking for, just a little bit of variety with what we have to keep us content until we get more feasible content, like more game modes. Speaking of which, that is my next biggest complaint. I mean, battle mode is solid on its own, but one game mode cannot carry an entire experience. Battle mode can't be the only thing Doom Eternal has to offer multiplayer wise. And to be frank with you, Id Software's been very quiet on any other game modes possibly coming to Doom Eternal, but with the amount of requests that people have been putting forward for at the very least the return of team deathmatch, or if not, a boss battles, or even a game mode where it's a 1v1 and it's a maxed out Slayer against another maxed out Slayer. Variety, I think, would be the spice of life here, and if they can really capitalize on the fast, floaty movement that is the essence of Doom Eternal, they can really make some amazing stuff here. And it's not like they're inexperienced with multiplayer games. I mean, Bethesda and its software are sitting on years of experience. They're sitting on the Quake IP, for fuck's sake. They can make shit happen. They're just sold on making this highly competitive game mode that doesn't have dedicated servers be what defines Doom Eternal's multiplayer. And I think that closed-mindedness is what's really screwing them over. Like, I know, first and foremost, before anything else, Doom, not only just Doom Eternal, but Doom in general, is a first-person experience. People play it for the campaign, for the story, and the multiplayer is often a second thought. But in this case, because the movement is so fulfilling and the gameplay is so fast-paced, battle mode isn't so much of a second thought. It's an alternative to continue to explore what you can do with your weapon combinations, with your movement in this game. It's an extension of the campaign rather than an alternative experience altogether. At least that's the way I see it when I play as a Slayer. And if they just acknowledge that, if they acknowledge that the movement is the essence and they incorporate that into whatever game mode they decide to implement, it'll take off. Like, can you imagine Doom 2016's Team Deathmatch or Deathmatch with the movement of Doom Eternal? You're gonna have a whole nother level of competition, because now you have a movement system that requires a little bit more attention to be paid to, both with the monkey bars, if they are to add any type of wall climbing, and then of course your dash and how long it takes to refill that. Add into the mix weapon combinations like the ballista and super shotgun, some demon fodder around the map that anybody can meat hook. And that game mode's 5v5. There would be almost nothing else that can offer that level of competition and that type of fast-paced, non-stop action. And that's personally what I'm waiting for most. I'm waiting for them to get their heads out of their asses and try to add something more to the multiplayer, because right now, like I said, it is good. I am thoroughly enjoying it, but really and truly, you gotta admit, it is for the most part bare bones, even after a few months of it being out. But like always with these videos, I love to hear what you guys have to say about all this. This is just what I'm thinking. It's just my opinion, my take. I'd love to hear where you guys stand on all of this. What are some game modes you want? I just want to let you know that I am working on another couple different battle mode videos. Let me know what you guys want to see next in battle mode, whether if you want more of a breakdown or a conversational piece like this. Let me know. You know, I'm all ears. But like always, guys, my name is Cynic. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did go on to enjoy the video, find it informative, a little enlightening, feel free to hit that like button, as well as maybe consider subscribing for some future Doom Eternal content. And if you're looking for some other Doom Eternal content, feel free to click on the stuff that's popping up right here on the screen. But that'll do it for me here today. Like always, guys, y'all stay safe out there. I'll see you next time.